Well, guys, we're going to be talking about some of these woke universities that tolerate anti-Semitism. Now, I know that we've actually done a few videos where you've had far leftists out there make a bunch of anti-Semitic remarks, anti-Semitic protests. Jewish students on campus have been harassed. And those Jewish students are Americans. They're not even from Israel. But the far left, man, the woke left, has been harassing Jews. Why? Because they're Jews. No other way to put it, man. No other way to put it. And it's happening on some of these quote unquote prestigious campuses, like the University of Pennsylvania. Disturbing the other day, guys, that the presidents of UPenn refused to actually condemn anti-Semitism on the campus of the University of Pennsylvania. This video clip we're going to watch, guys, is shocking. Shocking right here that she actually refuses to condemn the anti-Semitism of the students. I mean, guys, she's out of there now. She actually resigned because of this. This testimony here is disturbing. Let's go ahead and listen into this right here, guys.
Madam Chair, I'd like to yield the balance of my time to the gentleman.
And by the way, there's other universities here as well, but let's continue on.
A woman from New York.
Dr. Kornbluth, yes. At MIT, does calling for the genocide of Jews violate MIT's code of conduct or rules regarding bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
If targeted at individuals, not making public statements.
Yes or no? Calling for the genocide of Jews does not constitute bullying and harassment?
I have not heard calling for the genocide for Jews on our campus.
But you've heard.
Wow. They can't even tell you yes or no. They can't even tell you anti-Semitism is bad.
Heard chants for intifada.
I've heard chants, which can be anti-Semitic depending on the context, when calling for the elimination of the Jewish people.
So those would not be according to the MIT's code of conduct or rules?
That would be investigated as harassment if pervasive and severe.
Ms. McGill, at Penn, does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Penn's rules or code of conduct? Yes or no?
If the speech turns into conduct, it can be harassment, yes.
I am asking specifically calling for the genocide of Jews. Does that constitute bullying or harassment?
If it is directed and severe or pervasive, it is harassment.
So the answer is yes.
It is a context-dependent decision, Congresswoman.
Calling for the genocide of Jews, she says it is, you got to take in the context. No, absolutely not, man. These woke presidents are terrified of the left, so they tolerate them. This is disgusting. You know what? Maybe Liz McGill is an anti-Semite herself.
It's a context-dependent decision. That's your testimony today. Calling for the genocide of Jews is depending upon the context. That is not bullying or harassment. This is the easiest question to answer yes, Ms. McGill. So is your testimony that you will not answer yes?
If it if the
yes
speech
or
becomes
no?
if the speech becomes conduct, it can be harassment. Yes.
Conduct meaning committing the act of genocide? The speech is not harassment. This is unacceptable, Ms. McGill. I'm going to give you one more opportunity for the world to see your answer. Does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Penn's code of conduct when it comes to bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
It can be harassment.
The answer is yes. And Dr. Gay, at Harvard, does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Harvard's rules of bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
It can be, depending on the context.
These people are all like robots, man. It can be dependent on the context. If you're calling for the genocide of Jews, what context do you need?
What's the context?
Targeted as an individual, at an individual.
It's targeted at Jewish students, Jewish individuals. Do you understand your testimony is dehumanizing them? Do you understand that dehumanization is part of anti-Semitism? I will ask you one more time. Does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Harvard's rules of bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
Anti-Semitic rhetoric, when
And is it anti-Semitic rhetoric?
Anti-Semitic rhetoric, when it crosses into conduct that amounts to bullying, harassment, intimidation, that is actionable conduct, and we do take action.
So the answer is yes, that calling for the genocide of Jews violates Harvard Code of Conduct, correct?
Again, it depends on the context.
It does not depend on the context. The answer is yes, and this is why you should resign. These are unacceptable answers across the board.
Yeah. All of these presidents should resign. They all should. But now one of them is gone. And that would actually be the UPenn President McGill. She's out of there. Look here. UPenn leadership resigns after congressional testimony fallout. It's not just the president here, but also, I believe the Board of Trustees. Yep, they did. Says here the University of Pennsylvania, UPenn, President and Board of Trustees Chairman both announced their resignation on Saturday, according to the Daily Pennsylvanian. UPenn President Elizabeth McGill faced widespread criticism following a hearing of the House of Representatives Education and Workforce Committee on December 5th, where she refused to say that calling for the genocide of Jews would violate the university's policies. All she had to do was say yes. But oh no, they couldn't do that. They couldn't do that. Scott Bach, the chairman of UPenn's Board of Trustees, announced that McGill had resigned from her position in a community message before later announcing he would also step down. Quote, today, following the resignation of the University of Pennsylvania's president and related Board of Trustee meetings, I submitted my resignation as chair of the university's Board of Trustees, effective immediately, Bott said in a statement obtained by the Daily Pennsylvanian. Quote, while I was asked to remain in that role for the remainder of my term in order to help with the presidential transition, I concluded that for me, now was the right time to depart. McGill will remain in her position until an interim president is appointed, Bott said in his original announcement. She will also remain a fully tenured faculty member at Penn Carey Law. I believe she should actually lose her tenure because she is tolerating anti-Semitism. She's tolerating it, man. Unbelievable. Quote, it has been my privilege to serve as president of this remarkable institution, McGill wrote. It has been an honor to work with our faculty, students, staff, alumni, and community members to advance Penn's vital missions. Yeah. And one of the reasons why she probably actually ended up resigning is because look at this here. UPenn loses $100 million donation over president's remarks during congressional hearing. Yeah. They lost out on $100 million. A donor to the University of Pennsylvania, UPenn, is withdrawing a donation of roughly $100 million in response to his president's congressional testimony Tuesday, according to Axios. And that is what you just heard on the clip I played you near the beginning of this video here. Astonishing, guys. Absolutely astonishing. Now, right here, it says House Committee opens investigation into anti-Semitism at elite universities after, quote, absolutely unacceptable testimony. Yeah, these universities are full of anti-Semites. No other way to put it, man. And if the leadership from the presidents all the way down, can't condemn, calling for the genocide of Jews, they all need to be removed, man. And UPenn is one expensive school. Do not send your children to these universities. Don't do it. It's despicable, man. These universities are so woke, man. They hate Jews. They hate Jews. I saw the video of the Jewish students actually being run into another room. They were like locked in or something, where you had all of these anti-Semite, pro-Hamas people harassing them. Those students have nothing to do with Israel. They're Americans. But the woke left, man, full of anti-Semites, harassed them simply because they were Jews. These pro-Hamas people were tearing down photos of, innocent women and children that were kidnapped by Hamas. They were tearing them down off of campus. I gotta tell you this, guys, I'm gonna be honest. If these students are here on student visas and they did that, they need to lose their visas and be deported immediately back to their home country. Those are not the kind of people we need here in the United States of America. It's absolutely disgusting, man, what the left is doing. Harassing American Jews simply because they're Jewish. And the presidents of these universities, they're not doing anything to stop it. Amazing, guys. Absolutely amazing. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.